Hi, Frankie here. I thought I'd do a quick video today for the feedback on the Carmarthen game from yesterday because I'm pushed for time. We've got the Welsh game on tonight. They've got a few other things to do before then. So here we go. Well, a nice game to do a report on because a much improved performance, an excellent performance overall. Most importantly, I have to start with the attitude of the group. Still work to be done, but much better. The discipline throughout was good. The way we adapted to, I think we had 12 players in total, so to have 5 subs, to be making 5 changes every break, and to not have our rhythm disrupted too much. The standard of performance was relatively high throughout, and that was the pleasing thing. Even though we had some ups and downs and it got a little bit messy at times, we managed to keep our standards high, our focus was high. So that was really pleasing. We played some great football from back to front, starting with our new keeper, Harrison, who did really well. Come on to individuals in a second. We were able to switch play a few times. We had good overlapping runs. We were solid. We were much better in the way that we pressed. We defended higher up the pitch than we did against Carmarthen. And we didn't leave any gaps at the back. We played with a higher line, so we closed down the space for their attackers. So that was really pleasing. I think that's it on the successes. We stayed consistent, covered that one. So moving on to stretch points for the team. As you could probably tell watching the game, sometimes up in play with a tight pitch, the ball can be bouncing around a little bit in the air for a while. So that's something we need to work on, dealing with those balls that are bouncing. We either need to get in there and head it straight away and help it on like we did a few times, or we need to get our bodies in front of the ball or in front of the man, protect the ball and get it down quicker and then play. At times we do need to settle down a little bit more. If we can't go forward, we know what to do, we're just not doing it all the time, which is start again, go back to the keeper, switch it out the other side, into the middle, then out to the other side. So we just need to get better at circulating the ball at times, but generally our attacking play and our possession play, well, certainly possession was good. It was excellent at times. In general, it can be a little bit better, just looking after the ball, but overall it was a much improved performance. All right, and then another, what else have we got? Yeah, getting shots off. I think the goal that Bailey scored, I just shouted shoot, gets a great shot off, not much backlift, bang, it's in the corner. So sometimes we need to shoot on sight and go for the corners. It was a little bit disappointing, the number of shots we've had and the number of times it's gone straight into the keeper's hands instead of making him work. If he's going for the corners, making him work and he saves it, fair play. We can still get the rebounds, we can still follow up with a shot. So that's it, great team performance. I do feel like we're not done in terms of the attitude with the players. They're going to need a lot of reinforcement, and I do feel like if I take my eye off them for a minute, that they're gonna lose it at times. But maybe that's me being a little bit overcautious or a bit of a control freak. But I think my gut instincts are right. I don't sense we're quite there, but certainly it was a step forward yesterday. The challenge now is, can we be more consistent? So as I said to the boys, they know what to do in the warm-up. We get the ladders out, we do the circle warm-up, and we do our ball work then where we play the game with the bibs and changing over possession quickly. So the boys know what to do. It doesn't need a lot of setting up from the coach. I'm just there to make sure they're doing it properly, at the right intensity, but they can monitor that themselves. They should know those standards that have been set now. Right, okay. Individuals. So Harrison came in yesterday and did very well. All the boys acknowledged that at the end. Shot stopping very good, distribution very good. His distribution actually got better as the game went on. He went long a couple of times and then he started going shorter into the defenders. The only thing we need to work on with Harrison is just now and again disguising your passes so that defenders, the opposition team can't anticipate where you're going to go. So just a little bit of disguise, maybe playing it quicker sometimes, maybe feigning to go one way and then the other. That would be the only stretch point for Harrison. Overall, a great debut and give us a solid platform at the back. Next up, Marco. Again, an improved performance from Marco. So everybody who went at the back did well. And the key thing for Marco, as we said in the team feedback, was rather than dropping back and giving strikers plenty of time and space to have shots or to play someone else in or to dribble closer to the goal, he's getting up a lot tighter to his opponent and denying them space. And also some great blocks. He really put his body on the line. I think there was a comment earlier on Facebook from Mike Bailey's dad about that. Jamie Carragher, I think he's a bit better looking than Jamie Carragher, to be honest, Mike. And maybe a better footballer as well. But he's got a long way to go. And his stretch points are, Marco. Oh, by the way, also some good passes out the defence. Just need to make sure that you've got the right angle for the pass. Again, if you can't go forward, Marco, go back or go across the pitch, as long as the space is there. So it's just being aware of your options before you get the ball. So that was your successes. Stretch points then for Marco, as well as sometimes just still making sure that your body position is good, not turning your back. Even if you are close enough to the ball to deny space, as soon as you turn your back, he can do what he likes, the attacker. So get in a good side-on body position, decide which way you're going to show him, away from goal, inside if you've got cover, and get that body position working well, and just stay facing the ball. That's really important. Okay, and then we've got Josh. Josh did very well at the back. We spoke a lot in the preparation for the game about making quick decisions, and you did that throughout, Josh, so well done. Played the ball quick, plenty of forward passes, got to the ball first nearly every time, and played at a high tempo, really good concentration. Where we need to stretch now, Josh, is the great thing about playing it quick and making early decisions is the opposition then tend to back off you. Okay, because if they know you're not going to have many touches, they know you're going to play it quick, they kind of think, well, there's no point in closing him down because he's going to play it behind me. Once you've done that a few times, generally they start to drop off, which is what they did yesterday. Then it's about realising, now I've earned a little bit of space for myself. Now I might have a little bit more room to play. Still about using those touches well, rather than getting a touch and then thinking, what am I going to do with it? But sometimes you have got a little bit more time, and you earned that time yesterday because you played at such a high tempo. Then it's about using that time a little bit better at times by taking a little bit more time to pick your pass out, having an extra touch just to give you a chance to see options if you haven't seen them before you got the ball. All right, next up then is Kaynan, a much improved performance. We spoke about the importance in the middle of keeping the ball moving, and certainly after the first few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, got into the pace of the game. The tempo was a lot better, making quick decisions, helping the ball on with 1 and 2 touches makes a massive difference. So you're able to switch the ball from left to right and keep the ball moving. That was a big thing. Stretch points then, once again, similar to Josh really, once you get used to that high tempo, then it's about recognising when have I got a little bit more time to put my foot on it, or where have I got options to play the ball instead of just playing it quick anywhere. All right, so the first bit you've done is important. That's the most important thing, play quick. Then it's about being more intelligent with the ball. The other thing for you, Kaynan, is making sure you're disciplined, staying in the middle of the pitch. You're always available for a pass from the left or the right. You're always available for the back players. You're always available to support the front players. But if you drift out to that middle position, then you're not available for everyone. The centre midfielder has to be available for everyone. He's the link man for everyone. Also, defensively, are we in a position quick enough to stop them coming through the middle? So it's about transition to defence. Okay, and then we've got Sam Tidman, played on the right. So first of all, some good goals, some good link-up play, got down the right-hand side really well, got to the byline, got some crosses in, and key thing from last week, a little bit of improvement on stretch point from last week, which was closing the ball down quicker and getting there first, winning the ball, being more aggressive. And there was certainly evidence of that, particularly when you tracked all the way back from the right-hand side to the left-back position to win a tackle. Still a little bit more of that to come. Some nice little passes just to keep the ball moving. Generally, we're looking for, again, similar to some of the other boys, knowing where the space is before you receive the ball. Sometimes you can move into it and take your man on. Sometimes there's a quick pass on. Sometimes there's nothing on going forward. You just need to start again. Okay, and then George, very dangerous in terms of successes. Very dangerous, especially in the first third. Looked good on the ball, linked up really well with Joe in particular when you were on the left, cut in nicely, came in looking for the ball. There's nothing wrong with that. Always, it's a good sign that you wanted the ball. Stretch points would be to, number one, making sure that when we need to play the ball out to the left, you are left, and you're giving the team plenty of width. And then the second point would be to make sure when we haven't got the ball, when we're defending, you are in a position to block that ball, to block shots, to win the ball back. You need to work harder defensively. It was a great effort from a lot of the boys yesterday, and that's an area where you definitely, there's a lot of room for improvement. Attacking wise, lots of creativity, lots of ideas, a big threat. And a last one actually has just come to my mind is get your shots off quicker, because you got into some good attacking positions, and now it's about getting those shots off, taking advantage. Next up is Zane. Worked hard up front, Zane. Some really good layoffs, so your link up play and your layoffs are getting better. Aware of the men overlapping you left and right. You got in some good attacking positions. You were switched on in the team talks, you were switched on in the warm-up, so that's always a good sign. So even if you're not at your most fluent, then your attitude was very, very good. Scored a very good goal, finished off a really good move. Key area for you, Zane, is as the ball's bouncing, especially in and around the box, can we get in there and get headers? Can we get in there and get volleys off? We don't always have to get the ball down, because if we get a bouncing ball down, sometimes by the time it's bounced 2 or 3 times, you've had 1 or 2 touches to get the ball down. They've got all their defenders back, and then not a lot of room to get shots off. Whereas if we're ready to hit it first time, without any backlift, if we're always available, always looking for where the goal is. If this ball comes into me, bang, it's going in that corner. This ball comes into me, it's going into that corner. So it's just being aware of getting shots off a lot quicker, and just being neater and tidier with the ball when you're playing up front. Okay, generally some good link-up play there. Bailey, some big steps forward for you yesterday, Bailey, because you got stuck in. It's the most we've seen you getting stuck in. And then it had a big impact on your performance. Your confidence seemed to grow. So it's proof that you don't have to be a big man to make tackles. You don't have to be a big man to close opposition down and press. So that was a real plus. Again, some great finishing. Not necessarily great understanding yet of positional sense, but at least you're starting to be more curious about it, ask questions. I can remember you once asking me questions about where I thought you needed to be, so that's good. You're starting to think about it, and it's going to come bit by bit over time, your positional play. Something that a lot of players and parents have had conversations with me about is playing in the middle of the pitch. We've probably got more than half. We've probably got 3/4 of the team who prefer or would like to play in the centre of midfield. Now, obviously, we've got 12 players. We've got one central midfield position, so it's quite clear that you're not going to be playing much in there anyway, whoever you are, because we're going to need to give other people a go. Plus, there's only one player who can play in. When we go up to 9-a-side, when we go up to 11-a-side, obviously that opens it up for 3 positions in the centre, maybe even 4 if we play a diamond. So for now, what we're looking for from everybody in the middle is how we use the ball. Are we ready to play it quick? So certainly that's a stretch target for Bailey as well, being available to play the ball quick, although you did do that quite well yesterday. Oliver started really well in the first period, going forward, closed down well, certainly improved understanding of the importance of closing down, especially from their goal kicks, to stop them playing out from the back. And some good contributions, got to the ball first quite often, linked up well with teammates, got a number of good shots off. So stretch points, I would say you can get those shots off a little bit earlier at times. Another stretch point would be